Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
Masters table. Masters table.
Racism, white supremacy is a dynamic system for the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival on the planet. White supremacy.
You are in an evil system, a system that is designed deliberately to produce evil thoughts, to produce animosity, to produce violence.
Introduction to African civilizations and man-garden civilization.
Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
We dedicate lives to the study of history.
They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation.
The right way is clearly distinct from error.
Racism is a competitive relationship between groups of people who are competing for the ownership and control of resources, wealth, and power.
Grace and peace, Black family. This is Vicky Dillard, your sister with the curly braids. And I want you to get ready for the new Master Elements project, the Spear and the Shield.
This vaccine isn't experimental. It's like a dandelion. You overlook it for their weird science.
DJ RP Beats and Sincere Love the God have taken this time during the pandemic to carefully craft the soundtrack to Black empowerment with hot tracks like God Mind, featuring Sadat X of the legendary group Brand Nubians.
We never die. I made an ancestral shrine. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen, I'm a law and a person of sincere love to God. That mean your arms too short like Carl Anthony Shaw.
God Painted Me Black.
God painted me black, thanks for that. I'm a bitch, man.
A letter to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing.
Ashe to the ancestors. Dear Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, I just wanted to thank you for all the lessons you left us. So yes, I'm more than grateful.
And the controversial song Buck Breaking God Today.
Why every black show they gotta have a transgender? Either I'm crazy or there's gotta be a planned agenda.
Get ready, Black family. This is a much needed project. This is the Spear and the Shield.
And those Africans have to be organized to fight for their liberation.
GW Apparel, a clothing that speaks. Something for the kings, something for the queens. Visit uptsites.com and use promo code SLDG22 and receive 11% off your order. Peace.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.
Peace, family. What's good? Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God, Sincere Love, here with my lovely coach, Nicety Girl, and this is the Black Business Showcase. What's going on with y'all this evening?
What's good, Mama Love? Ishmael. Sincere Love the Godcast, Black Business Showcase. What's good?
Peace, everybody, man. Welcome to another one. We got a great episode ahead for y'all. Of course, we got another dynamic guest joining us tonight. So before we get into all of that, need everybody to make sure that y'all hit that like button. When you hit the like button, that helps to boost this video into the YouTube algorithm. And it also helps to make sure that people who are subscribed to our channel do indeed get the notification whenever we go live. So definitely want to hit that like button. Also, you want to share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we are live right now. Send this out on your social media platforms and let everybody know that we are live. And even if you don't have nobody to send it to, if you just copy the link, it still sends the same message to the YouTube algorithm. So just go ahead and copy the link. And also, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube. We're at Godcast Enterprises, as well as Sincere Love to God on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you could be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love to Godcast. Again, this is the Black Business Showcase. We do this every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, where we bring on business owners, entrepreneurs, inventors, authors, speakers, all type of different individuals come on to give us some game about whatever industry they might be working in. So if that's you, you're a business owner or entrepreneur, and you would like to be featured on our channel, please hit me up in the DM, hit Nicety Girl up in the DM, or you can send us an email at godcastenterprises@gmail.com. Let us know what you got going on so we can get you on the schedule for the Black Business Showcase. What else I need to remind them of before we get started? Anything else?
You got to remind them about Seven the Super Hero. Seven. www.godcastbooks.com. Volume 2 will be out very, very soon. We're excited. The illustrations are almost complete. I think we're like right on the cusp of being complete, and then we can go straight to print. So everyone that has pre-ordered the book, thank you so much. And volume 2 will be getting out pretty soon. So thank you guys for your patience. And anybody else that want to pre-order, again, you can get volume 2. Seven's Big Chop, www.godcastbooks.com.
Yep, and the audio was breaking up just a little bit, so if you didn't catch that, it's godcastbooks.com. Make sure you order volume 1 right now, Seven's Big Move, and like she said, volume 2 is on the way very, very, very soon, so y'all stay tuned for that. And so yeah, we're about to get into this Black Business Showcase for y'all tonight and introduce our guests. And so let me let y'all know who we got joining us today before we bring her on. So tonight we are going to be joined by Corinthia Gabrielle. Corinthia Gabrielle is a certified Reiki Master teacher, and she is the owner of Sacred Chimes LLC, an intuitive spiritual advisor, and has been practicing Reiki since 2014. Corinthia has known all her life that she was a healer, set out on her journey to learn more about this ability she'd been gifted. Corinthia was introduced to Reiki. Reiki is a Japanese art of healing using the energies of your own body to promote healing in oneself. Along your healing journey, Corinthia works with you by introducing healthier lifestyle options into your life based on your spiritual life path. She will discuss the importance of yoga, meditation, energy healing, while emotionally letting go, and the effects this lifestyle change has on the physical, mental, and spiritual bodies. As a spiritual healer and teacher, she has the understanding that most of the setbacks we experience within our physical body is because of emotional issues and stress we are holding within ourselves. Corinthia transitioned into using sound therapy and crystals within her healing practices shortly thereafter, as it all works hand in hand. Throughout her youth and adulthood, her spiritual gifts began to multiply into divine sacred gifts of the spirit. Corinthia assists her clients by offering practical life coaching techniques for their spiritual and physical journey of growth into the light. Her passion is working with women as they are the source and creators of life. Once women are back in balance in the world, the world will soon follow. And so I know y'all can tell this is going to be a special one tonight. So I hope y'all ready. Let me introduce y'all to our guest for this evening, Miss Corinthia Gabrielle. Welcome to the Godcast, beloved.
Hello, family. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Peace. Appreciate you taking the time to share space with us tonight, man. Definitely appreciate that.
No worries at all. I'm glad to be here. And my apologies. As soon as we started, they started making noise outside because they're getting ready for a hurricane here in Mexico. So they started banging all of a sudden. So we already know, the enemy gets in the way when we start to do some spiritual, amazing things with the ancestors. Right. So please bear with me.
No, and bear with me too, because as soon as we started, they started popping fireworks off out here.
Over here too.
Wow.
And my windows open. Yeah.
We shall not be moved.
Right. Right. But it's that time of the year, so let the festivities begin.
Yes.
Okay, so you mentioned you're joining us from Mexico. Y'all getting ready for a big storm out there.
Yes.
How's the weather right now?
It's actually really beautiful. Nothing's going on, no heavy winds. It's been great all day.
What's the time? Y'all in the same time? Y'all in the same time zone as California?
No. We're actually ahead of California. It's 8:18 here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So I don't know if you had a chance to check out any of the previous episodes. I know you and I talked a little bit behind the scenes. And so how we like to do things here, we like to start off with the origin story of the guest. So take us back a little bit and tell us about yourself and your journey leading up to where we at today with Sacred Chimes.
Okay, so basically everything happened overnight. I went from being regular to this, and it happened in 2 days. That's my story.
I'm glad you know you're not regular.
I'm totally kidding. People think like this spiritual journey is something easy, and they're like, oh my God, like how do I get to where you are? And they think like it's something that happens overnight, and it's absolutely not. I can tell you that I'm a church girl from the South, and I was born and raised in the church, Southern Baptist and Christian. So I started going through my awakening in church. It actually happened. Yeah. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. So I was working at Creflo Dollar's church, managing his bookstore. And just all of a sudden, I was working out every day. I was minding my business, but a girlfriend of mine had introduced me to crystals. And I started working with the crystals a lot more, doing sun gazing. And I was working out, and then all of a sudden I had this spontaneous Kundalini awakening, and it changed my life. So the little background on the Kundalini awakening is that it's an energy that rises from your coccyx, which is the base of your spine, that travels up your spine, and it brings enlightenment. So it opens up all of your chakras, the energy centers in your body, and it activates your crown chakra. So it's kind of like what they say about, the Jesus walk. It traveled up our 33 vertebrae, and I came into enlightenment spontaneously. Wow. And it was a hard journey. I was not looking at it. I wasn't trying to. I didn't know what it was. I just woke up one day with spiritual gifts that was even more activated from when I was a youth studying. Because let me just go back a little bit more. I was studying on the Holy Spirit and spiritual gifts. So, in church, that's what they kind of align us with. So, they always say, I know when you join a church, they're like, what are your spiritual gifts? And they give you this little sheet of paper to kind of fill out. Like, are you, a prophetess? Are you this, that, the other? So I got really kind of obsessed with it at 11. So fast forward to having this awakening, I knew what was happening, but it happened all at once. Right. I kind of started seeing things and feeling things that I didn't know, and coming into an understanding and reality of the world and what's really going on. And it was actually beautiful. So, with any enlightenment, sorry, my dog is over here, so she's kind of holding space for me. So with anything, it's kind of like when you have these awakenings, you come into these new understandings, it picks you up from where you are and it moves you to a whole nother space. So that's what happened. They kicked me right out of the church.
Won't the Holy Spirit do it?
That's what I mean. But yes, that's what it'll do. So so I got moved out, out of the church. It was my main job, and started working other places, but my guides and source and my higher self had other things for me that it wanted to, show me. So I started Sacred Chimes. It was like, well, I couldn't get another job. People weren't really hiring me because my energy wasn't welcoming it. So I had to get into something else. So my ancestors and my spirit guides, and I'm probably jumping over a lot of things, but they kind of started showing me in my dreams, a new direction, a new pathway that was opening up. And they gave me the name Sacred Chimes. And here we are. So it's been a journey of understanding what Sacred Chimes is, which it started with crystals and learning about them and learning about psychic energy and, and being a seer, because that came on too, and it was just a process moving forward through all of these different modalities to kind of get to a space where I was comfortable, because it's like you can look around on the internet and you can find all these things that tell you, what an awakening is, what this and that is. But I'm an advocate for you finding your own path and you listening to your own self and you doing what your own source says, because what we're reading is just somebody else's story. I have my own story. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And my story is just as important. So I spent time, purging the church, purging these programs that were placed within me, that told me that, this being or this energy is what I need to be following for a healthy life. And, this is what I need to be doing for my path. I just got silent. I went through a dark night of the soul and cried every day for a year. And I allowed myself to be transformed and continue to walk my path. And it opened up so many doors, to where I am today. So
yeah, I can imagine how scary it kind of was, one, to have this new, feeling, that you're having, right? And then being raised in a Southern Baptist church, right? And then
yes,
going through this other spiritual thing, understand that much as of yet, and then, when you're bringing it out, unfortunately, you get judged a lot and you
yes,
questioning, is this spirit or is this a demon? You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, so I can just imagine how confusing and maybe scary it was for you to tap into, what it is that God was bringing you to and the ancestors.
Right. I mean, it was. I mean, because I was actually living with my parents at the time, and they're very religious. They're not spiritual at all. I'm the only one that's spiritual in my family.
Mm-hmm.
Except for like my great grandmother. She's Native American. Well, I mean, she's transitioned on now, but she's Native American and did, holistic healing. But as far as my immediate family, it was just me. I had nobody to talk to. I had no idea what was
Mm-hmm.
going on. And actually, a lot of like, what do you call him? Sermons. There was, I can't remember his name right now. He's transitioned. He was a pastor in Jamaica, and he was amazing and a huge catalyst to my understanding. But he actually died shortly thereafter I came into my awareness. But I utilized a lot of sermons to kind of get me in alignment with what Source was saying to me, and just listening. So
Right.
it was very hard. It was a lot. And they weren't bringing nobody to help me. Okay, it was like you got to figure this out on your own.
Now I
Yes.
know that.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. So
Now I know in the beginning. Go ahead, Sincere.
go
Sorry.
ahead,
No, I
Nike.
was going to say in the beginning, you mentioned that, I don't know if we were on live, but you still do Reiki work, but more of the psychic medium and spiritual advising. But how did you integrate Reiki into your practice as a psychic medium and, a spiritual advising?
Okay, so basically, so I call it coming online, right? When you have this light is bright. So I call it coming online when you get activated, when you wake up, right? So I knew that I had healing hands, and I've actually kind of known that my whole life. And when you go through this awakening, it activates your hands a lot more. You start to feel energy moving through your body. It feels like pulsations, you're vibrating. it feels like water moving through and rushing, and then your hands get really hot. So I was kind of like, ooh, like, okay, this is laying of hands, right? So when they say everybody stretch your hands out, you know, to your neighbor or whatever when they're healing sickness, I was like, oh my God, that's energy healing. What is that? So I started to look up like what the heat was that I was feeling in my hands. And then I started getting information or downloads or understanding or awareness that was something that we already do in church. So I, was doing more of laying my hands, kind of like testing, touching people, because I did not like to touch people at the time. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm all about boundaries. Okay, you keep yours and I got mine. But,
hey, Scorpio.
Yes. November 14th, we are the best. Yes. But
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, okay. We love you. We love Gemini. But so basically, like, I started investigating that. And then I decided I probably shouldn't have gone into Reiki. I probably should have cultivated more of my own energy healing techniques myself in the beginning. But I got involved. I actually went to a crystal store to buy some crystals, and I saw this lady doing energy healing on a person in the store, right? And I was like, what is that? So she started reading me. She started telling me about myself, which was spot on. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to learn how to do people in that way. So I allowed her to attune me. So Reiki attuning, it opens up, it kind of like, even though I've already had the Kundalini awakening, which I wasn't sure all of what that was, when you get Reiki attuned, it opens you up even more. So it like activates you, like it, instantly almost, you start to see things. So it went from me working on energy healing and getting attuned to that, start working with other people on that. And then as I healed other people or assisted people in healing, because they're healing themselves, they're just participants in it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just holding space for them and moving energy and helping them to understand. So once I would do that, I'm channeling healing energy for myself. So as they're getting, an experience in healing, I'm healing as well. So it just opened up more. And then my source just led me to getting into more spiritual advice. It kind of goes hand in hand. So I started going more into that, because that was, what was working for me. That was what was most prevalent for me, was hearing my guides and then reading other people, because I'm like a little scientist, right? Like I love thought, and I consider myself being like, well, let me just do this experiment, right? So I started working with myself and having friends. I'm like, can I send you a telepathic thought? Can I read your mind real quick? And they would entertain me, and I was like, I can do that. So it just naturally transitioned into that. Yeah, and then like I realized I was a medium, because then now there's spirits around me. So there's like a whole, I don't know if we have enough time for this, because there's like a whole world that opened up to me.
We're going to get into it. We can today, because I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So it just kind of leads you. What's that now?
I said, we got time. This is why I wanted you here.
Oh,
yes.
People started coming to me more for that. Like they like, honestly, Sacred Chimes, I do ask here and there, but everybody that has ever come to me for any type of healing work or mediumship or even psychic advice, whatever, was like word of mouth. Like it's all been sourced. Like I've never gone out to seek anyone. They just kind of came to me. And so that was just where the energy led. And I just follow. I live fully by faith and my intuition. I'm not trying to figure nothing out. Like I'm just listening, and I don't sit until it's time to move, and if it's nothing's coming through, then I'm just gonna sit.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I want to go back into some of the origin story and unpack a little bit.
Okay.
So first, prior to the awakening or the transition, what was your lifestyle like? Like, what type of diet did you keep? Were you exercising? What was your lifestyle like prior to having this spiritual awakening?
Okay, so I was working out heavily. I actually, this is interesting. I was trying to transition into pescatarian, which is just fish, but I was also still eating a little bit of chicken because this was maybe around like 2013 and something like that. And I was eating a little bit of chicken, and it was kind of bothering me a little bit in my body. So that's why I was going towards maybe just fish and vegetarian. And I was working out every day. I'm talking about there was a gym in the church, well, over to the side where the employees are. So I would work out every day. I get up, I drive out there because it was like 45 minutes from my house, and I would work out at 5:30 in the morning, hard, and then shower and go to work. And that triggered it. Like activating it and constantly doing all of this intense breath work as I'm running and lifting weights because I love push-ups. Like I got my right? So I was practicing a healthy lifestyle, and that actually triggered it. It opened me up because fasting and clearing out that heavy energy from eating red meats and stuff like that, it allows you to channel more energy. It allows you to hear better because you don't have other beings, the energy coming from meats talking to you and clouding your judgment. So you work out, you got your energy pumping, you're eating good food, you're putting in healthy things into your diet, good water. I'm serious about good water, and doing sun gazing as well. So you do those and it's bound to change your life, and that was also a journey for me too, because if I'll just say this, when you get into your when you have this awakening, it's going to change your diet anyway. It naturally happens. Like you don't really intend to do that. It just like, it takes the taste out of your mouth. It's like your body can't hold that energy any longer. You may want to drink alcohol, have a sip of wine or something. You can't do it. It makes you sick now. You want to have a hamburger. You can't do it. It's making you sick now. Everything that is toxic to us in any type of way, it's your body's going to reject it because it's trying to pull in more light and detox you from things that are holding us to this realm. Yeah.
And that's exactly why I asked the question, because listening to you tell the story about your awakening, I'm like, how was it clear to you what you were experiencing, what you were hearing? You know what I'm saying? How was it clear that it was something separate and apart from the organized religion that you were a part of? Because some people may have glimpses of those experiences, but they'll use that as confirmation for what they've been learning in the church. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so this is really real. This is the Holy Spirit or whatever. That might come across as confirmation of that, rather than for you, it was a whole total transition. So that's why I asked the question about what the lifestyle was like prior, for you to be able to have that type of clarity.
Right. I had a girlfriend, a best friend at the time, who introduced me to crystals, and she had an awakening like a long time ago. So I was surrounded by some people that had understanding, but that allowed me to go through my own journey by myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, they didn't judge me that I was still in church, because I was actually in the music industry, and that's how I met her. So I was doing a whole lot at the time. I lived like 20 lives, but she introduced me to crystals. And so I would go and like talk to her like, oh my God, have you had this experience? What is this? And I was Googling, a lot of things that was going on, but I don't know. I just trusted. Like, man, I'm that kind of person that I believe in aliens, okay? And I was always in church, but I never took away from like having a knowing that there were other things going on. Like I wasn't like a holy roller. I was in there and I love spirit and I love source, but I was still, grounded in the reality that there's other things going on, and I knew that I was magical. Like, how you just know, like as a child, you're like, oh, I can beam this light. Like I can point my finger and shoot some energy at somebody. Like I was doing that as a child. I was practicing, like making fireballs and stuff. I was like watching Dragon Ball Z. So I had some sort of understanding there, but not quite.
I think most of us do that as children, but as we start to age and experience different things in life, it kind of draws us away from those natural inclinations of who we actually are, like that childlike creativity and imagination, it starts to go away from us, most of us. But obviously,
Right.
that didn't happen with you, obviously.
Right. So I'm an advocate of feeding your inner child, okay? Do not lose that imagination because that is literally the source of it all, okay? People are like, Corey, how do you do this? Sorry, I go by Corey. That's my that's my nickname too. So Corinthia or Corey. But they're like, Corey, how are you doing this? Like, and I'm like, it's my imagination. So you start to just know and sit in it and have, like, I know I can do this. I see it in my head. So you just keep having that knowing and feeding that inner child and keeping that light going because it did not leave me. Like it tried to, but you keep working on that and you keep using that imagination and everything will open up. I'm talking about literally everything. Like the inner child and healing the inner child will change your whole entire existence. You want to generate some money? Go play. Go play. You want to get some clarity? Go play. Go run them out. Go. I don't know, hopscotch, jump rope, something like that. I didn't play hopscotch. I'm not that old.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Yeah. Get on a video game. Do something. Inspire yourself and feed your imagination, and it will change your whole reality. I promise you. Period.
All right, cool. So that's goes in with the next thing I wanted to bring up. So you said you want to make some money, go play.
Yeah.
So first of all, how did you know that these gifts could become a business for you? You know what I'm saying? And also, how much did you already know about business itself as far as setting everything up? You know what I'm saying? You know, the infrastructure of to make the business work. How much did you know about that, and how much of a learning curve was it? But first, how did you know that these gifts could transition into a business for you?
I had no choice. So when I left the church, I've never had an issue getting a job, right? It's always been pretty easy for me. But so when I left the church, like I told you, they tried to put me out of the church, and they did. They tried to. I heard the day they were trying to fire me that they were going to fire me, and I was like, well, can at least go work out? Because I was obsessed with that. And my guys, it was my grandfather at the time that I was hearing. He was like, yeah, you can go, but they're gonna fire you today. And but I was like, okay, cool, like whatever. I just knew. So I was sitting in my car, and then I got a phone call from like a headhunter, from another job. They just find jobs for you or whatever. And they saw my resume online, and they called me. So immediately when they were walking me in to fire me, I got a new job immediately, right? So I decompressed for about a month, and I went to this new job that I had. That only lasted. It only lasted a few months because I started feeding more into my spirituality. My energy started growing. So that irritated them as well. So you know how they say, like, your light irritates their demons? That's a whole real thing. Mm-hmm. So they fired me. Not because I did anything wrong, but because me just being there annoyed them, So I was like, okay. So I was trying to, again, me being able to generate money or get a job real quick. It didn't happen this time. I sent out 50, 60, 70 resumes. I was having interviews, nothing, not a thing. Nobody would hire me. I remember this clearly. It was like November, and I was freaking out because I needed money. I had stuff going on, so I went to sleep. Everything happened spiritually for me. So I went to sleep, and my guy started talking to me. Well, you're not getting a job. You're not getting a job. And I was like, no, I don't know that. I did not know that. But they started showing me how to make these bead bracelets, right? And since I was working with crystals, and I was like, ooh, I want to, make these bracelets, right? So I was like, how can I get these, this energy on me so that I'm not stuffing crystals? Because it was like, let me see, like crystals this size that I was obsessed with stuffing in my shirt and all that and wearing on me. I love this. This is a real citrine from the Congo. I'm obsessed with it. Okay. But yeah, so I was stuffing it in everywhere, and I was like, how can I get this on my body without having to stuff it everywhere, on me? So I was like, bead bracelets. jewelry. Let me start making something like that, right? So my guys started showing me how to do wire wrapping and stuff. I know it sounds crazy, but they started showing me how to do wire wrapping and dream catchers and stuff in my sleep. And so I was like talking to one of my girlfriends at the time that was at the business that I worked at. And I was like, you think I could like sell these? You know, what if I do, you know, can I put this online some sort of way? And she told me about Etsy. So I was like, oh my God. So I started to like put out a couple of little bead bracelets on Etsy because nothing was popping with my resume, you know, me getting a corporate job, which I figured out that wasn't even, I totally left the matrix at that point, didn't even know it. But I started to put out things on Sacred Chimes and it popped. It literally popped. And I was like, what? So I started to generate income through my passion, which was making bead bracelets and dream catchers and selling raw crystals and stuff. I wish I should have sent you guys pictures. Dang. I started to just come across these crystals and I was so obsessed with like sharing this energy with people. I was like, man, because you know how Christians go around and I gotta tell you about this, I gotta tell you about Jesus. I wanted to tell people about healing and crystals. I was like, I can feel this stone. When you hold it in your hand, it pulsates. It sends energy all over your body. It does something. And then I started playing with it. I started to move it around in my hand. I started to, you know, wear it other places, and it was like expanding. It was doing things, and I wanted everybody to feel this. So I started to sell them, and it just kind of caught on. It caught on. Thank God.
Man.
Yeah, it caught on. A lot of my people were on Facebook, so like I was supported. Even though I put it on Etsy, a lot of my people came in through Facebook, and which was interesting as well.
It's powerful, man. Powerful. This social media thing and business, you know, very powerful.
Yeah.
How did you end up in Mexico? Can I ask that?
Listen.
Right.
You don't have one awakening, two awakenings, three awakenings. You keep on awakening. And I was tired. I was really exhausted. I was like working online, offering spiritual gifts and things, like doing psychic readings and stuff online, as well as through Sacred Chimes. And I was just tired of paying rent for a year. I was tired of being held hostage in a city or a state that I might have outgrown, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what else is out there? I left Atlanta during the pandemic and I moved to Arizona. And the home that I loved in Arizona, they sold it. And I was like, well, I have this moving bug. Let me just keep it going. So I moved to Nevada. Wrong. Don't move to Las Vegas and you're spiritual.
My sister lives there.
Don't do it. But I moved there and it took out so much of my energy and exhausted me. And I was just so over the whole matrix and trying to like keep up with like, you know, stupid stuff, the rent. I mean, I had the money, but like just doing it and having somebody else tell me what I can do in my own space that I'm renting and all that stuff, it just bothered me. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm done. I work for myself. I work online. Why am I sitting here? I can work from anywhere. It just clicked to me, right? I'm like, why not understand that before? But it just clicked to me randomly. So I sold everything. I gave, you know, a lot of stuff away, and I packed me and my dog up in my Jeep. And I was like, let's go find some green and water. And the nearest thing was Mexico. So we just drove on there. And here we are.
And how long ago was that?
Woo! It's been a little bit over a year. I started this journey. Okay. I wanted to go to Bali first, right? But Bali has this thing with dogs because I love Buddhism. I love Hinduism. I love, like, I'm sitting on a Ganesh blanket right now. I love it, you know, and that's driven me a lot as well. But they have a dog issue. So I wouldn't be able to take my dog and bring her back. And I was like, she's my life. She's my soul guide. I don't have children, so she's my child. I can't go somewhere where she's not wanted and she could be in danger. So the closest thing was Mexico. So I left last year in March, and I got here in April. I took a slow journey traveling through. And my first stop was Cabo.
So I'm taking it. Things are going very well just from your energy alone. You talk about being drained and exhausted in these other places, and so the energy that you are exuding here tonight tells me that things are going well so far.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I keep looking at the screen. I'm like, oh, my face is shining. Yes. Listen. No knock to the people that love the United States of America, because I am not one of them. Okay, I am not it. It ain't it for me. Okay, it is not. It's not a safe space for me as a melanated woman. Okay. And here in Mexico, I was welcome. And I know people think like it might be a little racism here. I was welcome. I mean, they were like, "Oh, I love your afro. Like, can I touch it?" You know, and there's murals of like even Yemaya, you know, and Oshun all around here in Playa and even in Tulum. I mean, a lot of our, you know, spiritual ancestors are connected to theirs. You know, the lines are very blurred, but the energy here is it's they don't have chemtrails. Like I can go sit outside right now and look in the sky. You know, earlier there aren't any lines. They're not trying to poison my crown chakra and kill me. I can drink the rainwater here, okay? I can go walk to the store up there that they all own, because the Mexicans here, they all have their own business. Like there might be like 2 major grocery stores, right? That's working, but the rest of it is it's them creating their own business. The produce is real. The food is real. Like their chickens aren't full of hormones. The fruit lasts maybe 2 or 3 days like it's supposed to. There aren't tags on it unless it's coming from the United States. Apples, I'm not buying apples from here. Apples are from the United States and they last like 2 weeks. It's like what?
Wow.
So you can't eat it, but I can go buy a mango here and it might last 2 or 3 days, maybe. But the energy here, it clears you. You know, you have the ocean, you can sit there and you can speak with your ancestors at the ocean and it'll come in and it'll wash your energy, right? And then you get the energy coming from the sky and the sun is beautiful. You know, it's just not a lot of blockages between you connecting to nature that it is in the United States. And I'm grateful for that.
How long have you been there?
For a year, a little over a year. Yeah. Well, here, let me just say this. Here I've been in this place in Playa del Carmen since last October. So I started in Cabo. I said I'm going to tour around Mexico and see what they have. So I started in Cabo, and then I went to Tulum, and then I came here, and I might go to Merida next.
All right.
Yeah, it's a lot of melanated people in Merida doing really great things. So I want to see what they do over there.
So nice. You missed some things. You good over there?
Listen, I don't know what spirits have conjured up, but I'm telling you, this broadcast, this has never ever happened. That it's literally kicked me out of the broadcast like 4 times completely. And I have full charge. I have a full charge. I'm like, who's trying to block my healing?
Right.
I don't know. Like, whatever that is needs to let me live. Let us live. I don't know what. Seriously, we've been doing this for over 2 years. That has never happened.
Wow.
I
hope it's not me.
You know, well, we're not gonna let. I feel like it's something that something doesn't want me to hear or experience.
Right.
And I'm going to hear and I'm going to experience this. I refuse not to.
Okay.
So talk to us like we're 5-year-olds.
Okay.
Okay. What is a seer?
Oh, okay. I love this. Oh my God, I don't know. I really love what I do. I'm sorry. Like I could talk about this all day. Okay. And I'm a fairy, so you gotta just kind of vibe with me.
She's a fairy.
Yeah, so a seer is a person that is intuitive but gets visual images in their head, in their mind, right? So it's kind of like you can be looking at something, I don't know, some trees, and see a field of daisies or something because it's a message there. Or like for me personally, like if my guides are talking to me, how they show me who's talking to me, they'll flash an image in my head. So it's just a person that has spiritual gifts whose third eye is open and they see like inner visions. So it'll be like you think you're seeing it in front of you, but it's really through your mind's eye. It's just, I guess that wasn't really like a 5-year-old. I can see inside my head. Okay. I see pictures in my head of things that's not there, but are really there.
Yeah. I guess it depends on the 5-year-old.
Right.
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 Yes. Yeah. So when people speak about third eye, right? Let's just go into that. People speak about third eye, and they're like, "Oh, that's not a real eye." It actually is a real eye. It has the mechanics of a full functioning eye that reflects back these images. So you are opening it. But the thing is that like in this matrix, in this realm, they give us this fluoride water and this toxic food and stuff, and it doesn't even need all that, but they calcify it, right? So it gets crystallized. Okay, so you got like your eye here, and it's shut because you got all those toxins, and it's like it pulls it in. It literally pulls all of the nonsense into it, because I don't know why it does it, but it attracts it and it pulls it in and then it crystallizes it. So that's why so many people are asleep and don't realize they also have gifts because, like, I mean, I don't think I'm anybody special. I believe that these are things that anybody can access. Actually, like we all have these gifts. It's just unfortunately there are things that are blocking it, and it's usually environmental or your understanding, your programming. You're not open to it. But once you crack that and you do the detox from when we first start having the awakening, and it sends your body into a detox, that's why those gifts come in, because the gifts are hidden by the foolishness that we're ingesting. Even music and TV and all of that, it blocks us. We get distracted. So
easily.
I don't know if you're doing your psychic thing right now, but you keep leading me into the next thing that I want to ask you about. And so you bring up music. I know that you're an artist. I was checking out some of your stuff on sound. You dope, by the way. Let me give you your props. You're very dope.
Thank you.
And so, talk to us a little bit about the music, but incorporate that with sound therapy, because you also do sound therapy as well. And so, what is that sound therapy for 5-year-olds? And then how does your musical gifts play into that?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to talk like a 5-year-old. Okay, I can do it. Okay, so sound, everything vibrates at a frequency, right? Everything is making a sound, even plants. You can hook up like a microphone to a plant, like when you're checking your pulse, your with your body or whatever, and you can hear those. You can do the same thing with a plant, and you'll hear a song. Everything is singing a song. Everything is making some noise because of the vibration, right? So our organs and things vibrate at a certain frequency as well. So there's technology that was found, like these bowls that are, specially crafted to, to the same frequency. Let's just say our heart chakra, because I keep touching there. So they are connected to, or they vibrate on the same frequency, they're attuned to the frequency of the heart. So that's why it helps us, because we can, our pain kind of like, I believe everything starts on the inside out, right? So food can affect us and give us heart disease, but most times when there's heart issues, it's because a broken heart or some crazy thinking or whatever. It starts kind of there, and that energy sits there, and it causes the heart to start slowing down in the way that it vibrates, and the way that it moves, the way the song that it sings. So when it starts doing that, that's when sickness starts to come into our body, right? So somebody out there, I don't know who started it with sound therapy, but some amazing, fantastic person decided that let's figure out how can we get this healing, most likely was a shaman. How can we use these tools, these sounds, these beats, these frequencies to heal our body, and that's also what we use as spiritual beings, as melanated beings, as indigenous people. We started to use vibration to call on source. So that's a whole other story. But sound therapy just basically utilizes tools and musical vibrations to work with the vibration of the body and to attune it back to its original normal balanced frequency. Yeah.
All right. So to all my 5-year-olds out there, if you didn't do that, come back in about 10 years or so.
Right.
And watch the replay. It's only built for human links. Right.
Yeah.
So you were an artist. So you were in the music industry and all of that, right?
Yes.
And from the songs I heard, I would imagine you could dance too, right?
Oh God. Okay. I'm an 80s baby. So like coming on up in the industry, like in the 2000s and stuff, that's all we did. It was a pop era, you had R&B singers and pop singers that they dance. We all dance when we sang. So yeah, what you heard on SoundCloud is old. It's like again from the early 2000s. But yeah, I dance. I've actually been singing, performing, doing independent films and things since I was 11 years old. Well, since I was 3, but professionally at 11. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, I come from that. Like on my dad's side, they all just picked up instruments and just started playing them. Like they didn't, have any formal training. They just play by ear. And I got my dad's gift in regards to that, and I got my spirituality from my mom's side. So I just blended it together.
Love it. So I want to pull up your website.
Okay.
Hopefully the screen doesn't start acting up. Sometimes it does that, but that's not going to happen tonight.
No.
Let me share this with the family. Let me share this. And by the way, if you guys are just coming in, make sure that you hit the like button and share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we are live. This is the Black Business Showcase on Sincere Love the Godcast. And tonight, we are talking with the owner of Sacred Chimes, Corinthia Gabrielle. So appreciate y'all tuning in. And here goes the website. You guys could go to sacredchimes.com for all things that we've been discussing here tonight. You could tap in with us, get in touch with her through the website. All right, so here we go. Here we are. Walk your clients through this website.
I'm sorry?
I said, give us a tour. Give us a tour through your website.
Yes. Okay. I actually built this website myself. And listen.
Oh.
Yeah, like I've not really had a lot of help with doing much of anything in regards to building my career and my spirituality. I've had to figure everything out on my own. So on like my dad's side, they're like computer geeks. So I got that geek side too. So I just had to figure it out. So anyway, so here we go. So this is just an introduction. It's just a message from, I forget who it is there, but it's just kind of talking about spirituality. But when you first log on here, you should feel a very healing energy because I actually try to infuse everything that I do with some sort of energy frequency. So when you go on there, you should feel a sense of love and warmth and just, confirmation. So on here, it gives you an opportunity to see what I've done, what I've experienced somewhat, in the background of that. And then also I started a little blog there, which I intend to put a lot more on there. And also like where we're looking at now, it's just saying the different things that I do, the different modalities that I introduce to people. So I help people to understand their spiritual gifts, how to use them, what are you feeling, and let them know that they're not going crazy. So I'm a soul guide in that way, where I walk people through their awakening so that they know that they are sovereign beings. And I really, like when I have clients, I don't intend to have a client forever or a participant, forever. Like that's not my intention. My intention is to activate you, help you to understand that you are a God, you know, in this physical body, and that you can activate your own gifts, and that you are just as important as anybody else, and this is your journey, and that you need to be running it yourself. Okay, so I like to empower people to live life on their own terms, basically.
Okay, great. Okay, we got some testimonies here. I see testimonies for some of the clients and stuff. Okay.
Right, yeah. There's a lot more. So on the front page, those are like my online clients, because I actually still do like online access from different psychic websites. But you can go to where it actually says like you know, testimonials and things like that, where they're actually my personal one-on-one clients, where I you know, they've given their who I am and their experience with me, and I'm so grateful for them.
Question for you. Can you explain what it means to be a psychic medium and how it differs from being a psychic?
Okay. So like, oh God, it's a bunch of things. So you got tarot readers, and they read cards, okay, and they go off the understanding of what the cards say, and that's a whole other science and technique that I don't know about. So I create my own stuff. But a psychic is somebody that uses their intuition. They can tap into, you know, what's going on into your own energy, and they go from there. So they're basically tuning into the energy that's around, and, you know, just connecting to you in that way. A psychic medium is a person that is aware psychically what's going on, and use the intuition and all those other gifts of like clairaudient, clairsentience, because those are psychic gifts as well. So you can hear, you can see, you can feel and touch, you smell spiritual things around. Those are psychic gifts. But a medium actually deals with spirits, right? So transition on spirits that are coming to either, you know, go off on somebody or tell you why they transition. Yeah, and it's funny. Like there was a video long time ago. I think I was still in high school, called Faces of Death. And
I remember that.
It was horrible. So I watched that, and I hate that I did, because at 43, it still traumatized me, right? And we need to be mindful of that stuff. But it bothered me that these mothers, and even the first 48, that these mothers didn't know why their children had, you know, were hurt or died or whatever happened to them, right? So I was like, I'm going to be a pathologist. I wanted to help people figure out why their loved ones transition. Well, I didn't get to do that. I didn't get to be a pathologist, but so as above, so below. So because I had awakening, I connected to the higher self, and it flipped it. So now I actually get to hear the spirit tell me why they died, and I can translate to their parents and to whoever needs to know. Yes.
All right. And one more. Can
Okay. 1 second. I apologize. My phone is going dead, and we do not want that.
Oh, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Hit the like button, family. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already.
Okay, cool. Just had to make sure.
Right,
we're not
doing that, because this is so interesting to me. Can you discuss any misconceptions or myths about psychic abilities and energy healing?
Yes. Okay. People think that you're tapping into a misconception is that it's demonic. Okay, right. It is not demonic. It's actually like, I mean, it's God. Right? I mean, they talk about it in the church. I mean, you got prophetess, you got seers in church too. You know, you have intuitive people in the church too, and they just don't want to acknowledge it in that way. But that is a misconception that either it's fake, or that it's demonic, or that it's really bad, and it's not a good thing for us to be utilized and to be doing. And that's not the case. I know exactly who it is that I'm talking to, the energies that I'm working with, what's happening. I know that the Holy Spirit is my source. I call in my angels and my ancestors and my guides, and I know they're not demons either. So
Right.
I work with them. So that is a misconception, and even that it's fake. And it's like, well, I feel it, and
Right.
I know it's not fake. My apologies. My phone is just draining of battery
Yeah, sorry about that.
right now. Can I 1 second? I'm so sorry.
No, take your time. Take your time. And like Sincere said, you guys make sure you share this broadcast out. We're gonna wait for our dear sister, Miss Corinthia Gabrielle, to fix her phone situation. But I hope that you guys are really enjoying this broadcast. I am definitely intrigued because I grew up, we all heard one voodoo is, or root work is demonic and stuff like that, especially if you come from the church, so it's good to hear from someone who is in that spirit realm, to kind of, debunk those myths, but also give us an understanding of how it all starts, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you guys ever experienced deja vu. I know I have, where I've dreamed about something and then it happens later on. I don't know if it's, days, weeks, months, or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute, like this happened before. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's spirit, or I believe that it is.
Right. Yeah, man. The mind is a very powerful thing, and we exist on multiple planes simultaneously. Most of us are just tuned into the three-dimensional world and everything like that, but we exist on multiple planes at the same time. And so we're not just one thing. You know what I'm saying? So
But why is it that Black people, we will believe a person inside the church speaking in tongues? Like, we'll believe that, right? But we can't believe someone such as our sister Corinthia Gabrielle, who can tap into, the spirit realm, who can tap into conversations with ancestors, with, transition loved ones and friends and things like that. Why can't we believe that? But we can believe somebody making these noises.
It's programming, you know what I'm saying? It's programming. It's social engineering, you know what I'm saying? The stuff that you learn inside the church, that's something that's been passed through your family from generation to generation. So you learn this from your grandmother, the person that loved you the most, the person that you trust the most, the person that people that nurtured you your whole life is who shows you these traditions and rituals and so forth. So it's easy to absorb that and accept it. Whereas a lot of times when we come in contact with this type of information, it's not necessarily from somebody who is close to you as your grandmother. So it's like, and plus you've been programmed through media and, the education system and all of that to reject it. So that's what
I remember, being in church, and when people would get the Holy Ghost, you know what I'm saying? And they would be up in there jumping up and down and stuff. And, the pastor or the other members, you know what I'm saying, will be rejoicing in this person jumping up and shouting. And I literally used to pray and beg God to allow me to
let it happen to you, right?
And it has never happened to me to this day. I have never had that, but I like I felt like maybe I'm not as close to God, or you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not
I was that kid.
from it.
I was that kid too. I used to always be in church like how come I don't feel that?
Right.
That's
I
cap.
wanted it. I
was
like,
that's cap.
It was cap. I was literally in there begging God, like praying to the holy heavens. Like, I want to shout. I want to jump too. And I was just like sitting there like, why isn't this happening to me? And it's never happened.
Yeah. And so hold on. I was looking through the website earlier too, and I wanted to share this because she has something on here called Sacred Partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to know what this is about, because this sister right here is a chef, and she specializes in holistic health and wellness and all of that. And so I'm thinking this kind of ties into, everything that we've been learning here tonight, but through the food.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
And
want
for
to see.
most of us, especially, Black Americans, it's the food, how we cook, how we were conditioned to cook. You know what I'm saying? Which I know for me, I've done a complete 360. I literally do not eat beef. I do not eat pork. You know what I'm saying? I try to just eat as seafood as much as possible. I still eat chicken, but I've completely shifted how I cook and how I eat. And sometimes I won't have meat with every meal. And when I say meat, that could be fish or what I'm saying, or chicken. I just will not eat a meat with it. I'll just cook something, but eliminate the meat, for a few days, just so my body can naturally cleanse itself. I feel so much better now that I completely given up beef and stuff like that. Um, you just your body feels the difference for sure. I can't wait till I can get to the point where I can give it up completely. Slutty Vegan is here in LA. I'm super excited. I
I like
will
a
be
pop
going
up
there.
out there.
Yeah, she's doing a pop up out here on Melrose, so I plan on going this weekend.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
I
Uh,
haven't found any vegan food that I like, right?
really? I don't know what the problem.
No, like I'm saying, like okay, so I've done like at Taste of Soul. They had a few vegan spots up there, like the vegan barbecue. Like I know that that's dragon fruit. I taste it. It tastes like dragon fruit with barbecue sauce on it. Like it just, I can't get into it at all. Like I've yet to find something truly amazing, that I like. So I'm excited to try hers and see if I can get into it. And one thing about me, once I taste something and I figure out the ingredients, I'm gonna go home and try to do it myself and
Yeah,
perfect it myself.
yeah. I think our sister is back. Let's see. Let's see.
There she
I'm sorry.
goes.
We held it down. We held it down.
We held it down.
Yes. My sincerest apologies.
It's okay.
And
Good.
yeah.
It's
And
all
they
good.
started back outside again. We will
Oh,
not be
wow.
moved, okay?
We were not. We were not. No.
We're gonna get ready to wrap up in a minute, but I wanted to ask you about the sacred partnership
Okay.
situation. What's this about?
Okay. Well, it's a thing growing, right? So I believe in community, and unlike a lot of people in the spiritual business or industry, they I can't do it all myself, okay? And I don't want to, okay? So I know about herbs and I know about eating well and healthy foods, but that's not my strong point, right? My strong thing is it's like energy and spirituality and leading people through their awakenings. That is what I do best. But I have a vision of bringing in other people because like we learned in the church that everyone is a part of the body, right? So you got a head, you got fingers and toes and arms and things like that. I'm just a part of it, right? So this particular woman here that we're looking at, she actually is a holistic chef. She healed herself from a thyroid issue at the time and sickness in her body through changing her diet and making it more alkaline and electric. So she's a straight vegan and she actually is a vegan chef. So she goes out and teaches people how to eat better. So the vision that I have is to bring different people in that do stuff. So like yoga teachers, other holistic healers, chefs, herbalists, things like that. I want my website and my business to be a one-stop shop for people that consists of vetted people. So not like, oh, just go Google and find somebody out there. Not. I know these people. I know that they're amazing, and I know their strengths, and I want to have a place for them to offer their services so people can feel safe with meeting them. Because again, I only do a little bit, and I'm only over here, and I don't believe in going in other people's lane. I believe in staying in your lane because that's your journey. You can do a little bit of everything, but like to do it on a broader scan, I wouldn't know that. I can't tell you how to keep your blood type, but she can, and other people. And I'm going to continue to add other healers and other people that offer holistic things, not just necessarily healing, maybe, writing classes and things like that, that are spiritually based. They will be offered up on, and we will be in partnership with each other with Sacred Chimes.
That's dope. I already know someone. Feminine
cool.
Mystique. Feminine Mystique, she actually did the Godcast before. She actually is a yoni scientist, indigenous medicine, and parasitologist. So
Okay,
yeah,
yes.
she's definitely into the healing thing. I think you guys I would definitely want to connect you ladies. Definitely. She's here in California up north. I forget where, but yeah, I think that you guys will definitely need to connect on something.
Okay.
Collaborate.
But yeah, I like the
Absolutely.
idea. I like the idea and the direction that it's going in. I can see like some type of like resort retreat type of thing
Mm-hmm.
once everything
Yes.
really gets going and you got your team together and all of that, and you know, people coming to like a
Absolutely.
healing retreat. That'd be something real fly.
We did a few of that in Atlanta.
Oh,
The Divine Feminine Healing Retreat, and I had a vegan chef. She taught people how to, cook vegan foods, because even when you're going through that, you don't know what you're eating. You're like, I'm hungry and I don't want another salad. What is that?
Right.
So she did a whole cooking class. And then I went and taught energy and how to move it, and all these things. And then other people came, and I had a shaman friend, he actually did the sound therapy portion. He transitioned. I miss you, Tellis. He transitioned last year, but he helps during that this particular retreat I'm talking about, but that is the goal. Is to have everybody in one place to have a healing retreat. Absolutely. Because we need healing.
Would it happen to be Afia?
I'm sorry?
Afia? Does that sound familiar to you? Are you connected with Afia down here in Atlanta?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
I'll tell you something about her because I seen that she was one of our mutual followers on Instagram.
Oh, possibly. I am horrible with names, but I can remember her face. Okay. Please, I'm so sorry about that. I've been working on that for years. So I'm just gonna stop saying that I'm working on it, because I'm not. I'm a lot of things, but remembering names is not one.
It's all good.
Like that.
We had her on the show before too, so I was like, oh, maybe that connection right there. But before we start winding it back, I ask you, what was it?
Well, I have a question while you over here thinking. No, just playing. So, would you be willing to do a brief live reading or Reiki demonstration for our listeners?
Oh, I don't know. A reading? I can tell you what a reading would consist of.
Yeah, that's fine.
What would I be reading? Oh, okay. So basically, like with Reiki, like a Reiki session, what that would look like is for me. So how my Reiki sessions are, they're set up. There's first 30 minutes is a spiritual reading, and then the next 30 minutes is actually energy work, right? So I want to see what's going on in your life, because what's going on in your life is affecting your body. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense for me to be blindly moving around energy on your body when I don't know what's going on with you. So I go in to see, and I talk to you, and I talk to your guides about what it is that you're dealing with, and that gives me a direction on where we need to be focusing on, right? So then an in-person Reiki session would just be laying on the table and doing a scan, because some people don't like to be touched. So we want to make sure that we are, keeping our hands off of people and just kind of channeling that energy from our hands into their, their body. So it's basically for me just feeling where it is, because like if you have, I know people hear about cords of attachment, or like you got an attachment to so-and-so or whatever it is. So that actually has a feeling. Like you can tell what that feels like. So if I had it in my sacral chakra in my womb and I stand over it, it would literally pull my hand to the womb, because there's something there. Yeah. So you're like, oh, there's something there. It's getting heavy. It's pulling me in. So we need to move that energy out. So you can actually start to grab that energy and pull it out. So it would be scanning the body with our hands, moving it like over our body like that, and seeing first where is there a block? Where is there a pull on energy? Is there something low? Do I feel it? Because again, we talk about these chakras, these energy centers and stuff. They send out energy. You can be next to somebody and be like, wow, you're really confident, or I can feel you. That's coming from somewhere. I can feel that you're a loving person. That's because they're radiating that out. So you feel it emotionally. You can feel it physically. There's no separation with anything. So I'm scanning to see the health of your chakras. Are they is it moving correctly? Is it enough, a lot of energy, or is it over, energized or overcharged, So, and that would feel like a lot of heat. It will feel like, let's give an example. If you have an overactive throat chakra, you will talk entirely too much. It's like, shut up. So narcissists have overactive throat chakras.
Really?
They talk way too much and they tell everything, but they're know-it-alls, and it's just like you can dial that back. And so what that feels like on the inside is like a lot of heat. It's a lot going on because that wheel is spinning and it's putting out a lot of energy. So if you're overheated, your energy centers are over like responding. They're overstimulated. So again, we can feel that on a body scan. And we would just, tone it down. And we would tone it down based on like at the basic level when you first start, you would move your hands a certain way to wind the wheel back, or to clear it out, things like that, or to move it out of the way. It's just kind of how you learn to do it. Because at this point, I've been doing it so long, I've created my own tools.
Right.
That would be what you feel.
Like, get out of there.
Huh?
You're like, you just snatch it and say, get out of there.
No, for real though. Listen. Again, imagination, right? Imagination is everything. So like I have a video on my YouTube where I teach people how to use fans to clear their energy. Because if you think about it, like people say, oh, your aura is dusty. Okay, it really is dusty. And what is it? It's like crap just sitting around floating it. So what do you do with crap that's just floating there? If it's smoke in your house, what are you doing? You're gonna fan it away.
Right.
Same thing. You fan it away and you will start to feel more open because it's fluffing your aura. An aura is a real thing. It's different layers of our emotional bodies, and you can feel it if you're connected to yourself. And you can start fanning, all of that stagnant energy away. And you can fluff your aura, by just doing like this. So you can go through and fluff your aura and stimulate it. You make it like you clear out stuff. You can just do that. Anybody can do that. Like you don't have to have a gift on that. So anybody can move their own energy. Anybody can clear their own energy. Anybody can heal themselves because it's you did it.
Right.
I mean, if nobody else was here on this planet, what would you do? Just die? No.
You're gonna figure it out.
You have access to do your own inner work and heal yourself. But yeah, so you can use any tool to utilize it and say, this is what I'm going to do. I'll put the intention into it and I'm going to fan this nonsense away. And then you'll start to feel better. I mean, are we really here anyway?
Yeah. I got to get my son to watch this. My son's he's going to like this broadcast right here. But I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to our sister on YouTube as well. Sacred Chimes on YouTube. Well, Sacred Chimes, the Crystal Healer on YouTube, right? That's the app. Yeah. Sacred Chimes, the Crystal Healer on YouTube. You guys make sure y'all go over there and subscribe, click the notification bell, all of that good stuff. So I remember what I wanted to ask you about. Because I think in the bio, when I read in the beginning, it said you guide people through their healing journey, basically via their life path.
Yes.
So I know a little bit about that. Life paths be like on point, like a mug. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you deal with like natal chart?
No. So that would be another thing. I would outsource that. I absolutely have no idea how to deal with that, and I don't even want to know because my brain got enough going on in it. Okay. But life path meaning like but I can tell through the reading. So this is another I guess spiritual access or gateway because you can read your life, your Akashic records. Your Akashic records and your destiny is not just sitting somewhere off in a library up in the heavens. Like we're floating in the Akasha right now. That's how we can read other people. Like we're all sitting in the cosmic goo of life, in our own stuff. That's why we got to protect ourselves because we sit in everybody else's mess too. But all you got to do is just be aware and kind of tune in to what their energy is saying, and then you can read their paths in that way, their life path through their Akashic records, like their destiny, basically. But I want to say this. You want to be respectful with all of this stuff, okay? You do not want to be out here violating people's energy by doing readings on them and going inside of their energy and trying to tap into their energy to see what they're doing. That is not okay. And you can hurt yourself that way.
Like some dark magic.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said that's some dark magic.
No, it's not even dark magic. It's people get readings on other people, and it's none of their business. like, oh, I want to see what so and so is doing. Let me go get a reading on them. And some psychics will tell them, I'm not that psychic. I'm gonna tell you to go mind your business. But people like to know what other people are doing and what they have coming down the pipeline to interfere with it, or just because they nosy. So I wouldn't suggest.
So what about like a potential date or something? You know, somebody you might be interested in romantically. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of want to take a peek at their life path or maybe see what's going on behind the scenes. Type of person you might be dealing with.
Okay, so I really just go to my guides with that. But people, let me just tell you, you get into this, you start building up your own boundaries, right? So I call it like the aura of truth that I have. So you start channeling enough spiritual energy, enough God energy, enough light. People tell on themselves. So you come sit and start talking to them, and next thing you know, they're telling you all about their life, their journey, and their intentions. And you're like, oh, okay, well, goodbye. You know, so I need a lot of people to show me. Yeah.
Right.
So they're gonna show you themselves, because you can't lie in the light. No, so that's all you gotta do is walk in the light. You don't have to go through nobody's back door and go get readings on people. People will tell on yourself. If you vibrate high enough, your aura will demand people to be truthful to you or go. So they go. And then I also just do a light scan. Okay, I will say that.
I'm not mad at you. A little light scan.
Yeah. So I'm like, are you good? So a light scan will be like, is this a good person? You know, do they have goals? You know, are they healthy, and are they manipulative? Because anything else outside of that, like I can work with it. But if you're manipulative and you don't have goals, and you might be on the toxic side and you're still in the 3D, I'll go real quick. My cutoff game is strong. Yes.
Show them muscles again.
Strong. I'm getting out of there. So it's basically that. That's how. And I'm single because of that, to be quite honest.
I was gonna ask that. Is it hard? You know, and like when dating, you know what I'm saying? Do you tell people what you do?
Yes. I'm very open about what it is that I do, because it's my life. You become the ritual. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go be spiritual today. No, this is my life. I wake up in the spirit realm and I stay there all day, and I go to sleep and I astral travel. So this is just my life, and I can't shut it off. It's a constant communication between me and my higher self. It's a merger that happens. So when I date, I tell them, because it's just me. It's gonna be, you know, it's gonna come through how I talk.
Right.
And how I see things. Yeah. So it's not that they have an issue with that. It's just I find that a lot of people don't really like it because they can't manipulate it. So they either can't get around the lies that they want to tell, or they think you might do some spiritual work on them. And that's, again, a complete violation. I would never violate people's energy. And again, because I'm a Scorpio and people like to get into our energy or to violate our boundaries, I'm like, I love my boundaries, so I'm not gonna violate nobody else's because I love mine. Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
So that interferes a little bit, unfortunately.
It's very important.
Yeah, real quick, I want to say, like, so there's this battle going on between, you know, men and women about who's supposed to do this and who's supposed to do that.
Speak on it, please.
It's annoying. Okay, so the woman is the oracle. She is getting this divine energy. All this other stuff is made up. Like this I want you to be submissive to me. I'm the man, I lead. And I get that. I understand that a man wants to be in his energy, but you should just be who you are, just regardless. There's no titles to that. You know, you are just who you are because that's who you are. And if everybody does what they, you know, if everybody stays in their own space and vibrate on their same frequency, then things will be fine. There's a nice merger. There's a beautiful dance that happens if you start getting into roles, it starts pulling people off their life path, and now there's trouble. I do a lot of readings for people who, having issue in their marriage because they won't allow people to walk their own path. You know what I'm saying? You can't human or a human perspective or just this program that we got going on in the States it doesn't trump your life path. So the man might want you to be at home tending to the children, but your path here and your purpose here is to go open up this business to help women that are suffering through domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? So he wants you to be at home, and now you're fighting every day because he's not allowing you to do your path, or vice versa with the man. There's women that are controlling, but we need to be able to vibrate on our own frequency. And when we choose based on that frequency, and when we choose based on who we are and what aligns with our own inner self, that's when things work out. That's when you have that moment and that merge of the yin and yang. But we need to understand the woman is an oracle, and she ain't gonna shut up. Because source don't shut up. Okay?
She ain't shutting up.
Right. And you need to listen to what she's saying, that she's healthy and whole and in alignment with her higher source, because that is wisdom. That is God. That is the divine mother that is speaking through her, and you have to trust that. And everybody needs to get on in alignment with their own path and in their divine masculine feminine energy, so that this world can get in alignment, because it won't until everybody vibrates higher.
I love everything you just said. I actually wrote a song about it. It's called Sunshine. I think I'm gonna end the broadcast with that song. But y'all should go check it out. It's called Sunshine. It's available on all streaming platforms.
Long at your hair.
Oh, yeah. That gets into some other stuff too. Our hair is our antenna. That's important too. That's why we keep it natural, because everything's communicating. There is no separation. This is our Merkaba. Okay, we gotta use this shit. It's gotta be right.
Man, we could do this for hours.
We could.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wind it down. We're gonna have to get you back though. We're gonna have to get you back.
Yeah, because first of all, some spirit was trying to shut me down. Then
girl,
attacking your phone.
You gotta watch the replay.
Do a redo. I do.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, and I'll come with a better computer, because I can see that my whole vision is blurred. I don't know, I don't know what's going on with my camera phone.
Nah, it looks
good on ours.
TV.
Oh, cool.
Good on TV. We good. But yeah, we're definitely gonna have to get you back to get deeper into some of these principles, But this was fun. This was definitely fun. We appreciate you coming with us tonight. But we ain't done with you yet, though. Nicely, you know how we gotta end this godcast fashion.
Yes.
So
we're gonna wind down, and we're gonna end with our final two questions.
Okay.
What does freedom and power mean to you?
Freedom and power is being a sovereign being, like living through my own truth and my own understanding and wisdom, and having all the tools to navigate this realm in a healthy way that works for me. It's not allowing anything on the outside to dictate what I do, because they don't know anything about me. I can only say what is going on with me, and then I allow that to lead me and guide me. So I am powerful because I know who I am. And because I feel confident in that, I'm able to direct myself in the way that is good for me and my direction. So that is what that is how I see that. Absolutely.
Right. So this part right here, I gotta put you on the damn screen. And so right now, you have the microphone. The entire Black community is listening. So what parting words would you like to leave us with tonight?
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Okay. Walk in your divine power. Check with yourself, your source. Get to know who you are, your likes and your dislikes. Hold that energy, and don't allow anybody to move you from your own inner understanding and your own inner wisdom, because all is self. No one can tell you about you, and no one can tell you about your path and dictate that alignment. Only you can make those choices. Only you can heal yourself, and only you can decide what works for you and what doesn't, and only you can make these changes to get your life in alignment. So tap into yourself, listen to yourself, get to know yourself, cleanse your energy, do what's best for you. Take value yourself and know that you only get one life, one body, you know, and feed into that. So I want to inspire you to continue to take a chance on these dreams that you may have. You know that what you're feeling is valid and it's real, and you are important and you matter. Because again, all is self, and your life is what you make of it. So if you don't like it, change it. You can. You can say, I don't want to do it anymore, and get up and just restart, hit that restart button, shake the Etch-a-Sketch, and just begin anew. You have that power as a sober being. And I wish you luck on your journey.
Oh, that's dope. Ashe.
I receive it.
I received that as well. And it's funny that she said, if there's something that you don't like, change it. When we don't like our hair, we change it. Whether that's the color, we cut it into a different style. You know what I'm saying? So we can easily go do these things to make those, you know, outer changes, but we're scared to make inner changes for some reason.
Right.
It's weird.
It's programming.
Programming.
Yes.
We're about to get deprogrammed today.
Yes. Gratitude. Thank you so much for having me here. This has been awesome.
Thank you, Corinthia Gabrielle. We appreciate you, and we can't wait to have you back again.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, family. So that does it for today's episode of the Black Business Showcase right here on the Sale of the Godcast. Appreciate everybody tuning in with us as always. On your way out, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the like button, share this out if you're watching us on the replay or whatever the case may be. Make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube at Godcast Enterprises, as well as Sincere Love the God right here on YouTube. Make sure you are following our guests at Sacred Chimes on all social media platforms, right?
Yes.
Yes, she's at Sacred Chimes on all social media platforms. I'm at Sincere Love the God on all social media platforms. My lovely co-host, Nicey Girl with the #1 on Instagram, without the #1 on X, formerly known as Twitter. Make sure you guys are following us all. And we will see y'all on the other side. Sunday.
We will see you guys Sunday. And then next Wednesday, we will be back with another episode of the Black Business Show, Black Business Showcase. We are going to have Nation Builder Poetic. Nation Builder Poetic will be with us next Wednesday, but you know that we will be here on Sunday discussing current events, all things that pertain to Black society. Thank you all again for joining us on the Black Business Showcase. And remember,
we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Peace and Black love.
Wisdom is the wise word spoken by the wise man. Wisdom is also symbolic to the Black woman. Long natural hair, short with the waves. I give a shout out to my sisters with the curly braids. They call it 4C, we call it non-ether. She suffer autoimmune and formed alopecia. So keep a Black woman's name out your fucking mouth. I will slap a nigga brains out his fucking scalp. They on demon time, she on guard time. Let's take a walk, we gon' see what's on the goddess mind. She said she working on healing from her past trauma. Police killed her dad and shit went bad for her mama. Drug addicted, she neglected her brothers and sisters. She never felt beautiful cause she was dark-skinned. That's heartbreaking, ain't it? But darling ain't complaining. She on a queen of fool. She know the woman's sacred, divine feminine with spice like cinnamon. She only want that strong masculine, but still a gentleman.
Daytime, nighttime, her skin glow like sunshine. Cocoa, honey and gold, sprinkling a little bit of sunshine. Daytime, nighttime, her skin glow like sunshine. Cocoa, honey and gold, sprinkling a little bit of sunshine.
She only steam on the 7th and the 25th. That's why she tastes like nectar. Give me kiss. Not every Black woman is a goddess, but if you got one, then I can make you a promise. The weapons might form against you, but none will prosper. If you got her, she'll elevate you to your highest chakra. She the mother, she the healer, she the oracle. That's why I'm comfortable near her, I could be vulnerable. We all came to this world through the sacred womb, including every last king in the ancient tomb. So how could they assume that she ghetto, she ratchet, when she inspired every trend that came into fashion? Yeah, God stunned when he made that. Keep it 100, I don't want it if it ain't Black. I go to war with you, I'm on the front line. We gon' be just fine, cause you my sunshine.
Daytime, nighttime, her skin glow like like sunshine. Gold, honey and gold, sprinkling a little bit of sunshine. Daytime, nighttime, her skin gold.
Black woman is God, and when you think about the humility and what's that come from, when you think about the origin of the motherland, where we all come from, you disrespect a woman, you annihilate the culture in which they come from.
That's the truth. That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
And it's like you can't say you love your culture and then disrespect the woman of that